So if you find that the window film just isn't reacting the same as it usually is, it's sticking to the glass, and what I mean by that is the film is just creasing very easily in places it doesn't usually crease, and it doesn't feel like it's reacting the same, it's usually because either some condensation has got in behind the film and there's a bit of water in there that's making it sticky, so in between the film and the glass, and it makes it a bit sticky, or it can be because your dryer sheets are too wet, or in the colder weather you can suffer from this if you are using dryer sheets. Now personally, if I've got it on me, I'll just always use talcum powder, a very light mist of talcum powder, and I won't have any problems no matter what the time of year is. Now just to do a demonstration of what's sticky and what's not, here the film is sticking. You can see I'm running my fingers through it and it's sticking straight away, but here when I run my fingers through it, it tries to take the shape that it usually was, so we need it to look like this where it's not sticky in order to do a nice good shrink. Now what happens when it's sticky is it's going to end up creasing so much quicker. When you run your card through it, even if you've already shrunk it, it can fold over itself and cause creases like this. Now if this happens to me and I find it being a really big pain and I know it's going to be a nightmare to shrink the whole window, because again I can just see how it's reacting, here's two things that I would do. One is I would just lift up the film, spray soapy water under all of it and do it as a wet shrink, or two, I'll do the pull shrink method on the whole back window. But again, when this happens, it's going to be a nightmare because it's just going to want to stick everywhere all around, and it's not going to react to the same as what it usually would, because again the film is going to stick so quick. Obviously the dry shrink method is based around the film having a lot of freedom and lifting up, whereas when there's any water, any condensation or anything that's wet in behind there, you're doing a half dry shrink and half wet shrink, and that's not an area you want to be. You should be stuck in limbo and you wouldn't know which side of which method you want to use. And also what you can do, if you really want to find out if the film is sticking, you can slide a piece of paper under the film and see how the film reacts. If it reacts completely different, it's not sticking to the piece of paper and it feels better, it's because the film is sticking to the glass and there's a process that you're doing wrong when you're prepping the film. So this is a great test to do for you to find out if, again, the film is sticking. If you feel like it is shrinking a lot nicer, it's not sticking with the paper, you know that you have to go back to your prepping tutorials and find out what you were doing wrong.